Today we are taking a look at two brand new lights from Suré. What makes these lights different is the design choices, the power to size ratio, and the fact that Suré includes stuff in the box that most manufacturers charge you extra. So if you are a content creator, a solo shooter, or a filmmaker looking for a compact but powerful light that is not going to cost you a fortune, then these might just be the lights for you. Today we are taking a look at two brand new lights from Suré. First is the 300X Mark II, and then the second one is the 60X. Let's start with the 300X2. As the name suggests, this is a bicolor light with a 300 watt output. And what really sets this apart, and the 60X as well, are three major things, which are weight, size, and value. The 300X weighs in at just 996 grams. That is under 1 kilogram for a 300 watt output light. Now when it comes to rigging this thing up or putting it on a lightweight stand or booming it over, this is going to mean a lot less stress. The design is something you are going to love or hate. It is definitely unique and different, but at least it's not another copy and paste tube shape with a yoke as we are seeing from every other manufacturer. It is made out of plastic, which I would normally knock, but in the case of this 300X2, I think it actually makes a little bit of sense. Suré definitely prioritised weight and size here, and making it plastic rather than some kind of metal or CNC machined metal, that would add so much more weight and even price, ruining two of the main selling points of this light. And something else that also really impressed me was what is included inside the box. You get a proper padded case, a Bowens mount reflector, an AC power cord, a V-mount adapter, and also a clamp that clamps that V-mount adapter onto a light stand. And that V-mount adapter that is included in the box is something very rare at this price point. Normally, lights around this zone do not allow you to take them on location and externally power them. And not only that, even if they do, it is normally an expensive optional extra to pick up one of those V-mount adapters. So it's great to see that Suré was able to keep the price down and include it inside the kit. And something else included inside the kit is a handle. This is not normally something I do, but I know there is a use case out there where people hold a light for a tracking shot, and because this can be externally powered, this kind of makes sense. But I've also found a double use case for this handle, which makes it really important. Because the design and shape of this 300X2 is so square and it does not have a yoke, you will find when you're trying to rig it up to a ceiling or on a truss or near a wall, anywhere, and you place a softbox on it, it will not allow you to get great tilt. It will either press against the wall or the roof, squishing the softbox and not giving you the angle and direction of the light you need. And the double use case for the handle is basically it becomes a yoke. It can give you that much needed space away from the design of the body, allowing you to fit bigger softboxes onto the fixture itself, and it will keep it away from the walls and the ceilings. And speaking of handles, Suré also offer an optional battery grip handle which can externally power the 300X without using V-mounts. The battery inside this handle can get you 30 minutes at maximum power of 300 watts and 40 minutes at 200 watts. And for the footprint size of the combination of fixture and handle and battery, that is actually really impressive. If you are someone who has not yet stepped into the system of V-mounts, which can be really expensive to pick up a couple of them and a charger to power this 300 watt, then getting that battery grip handle can be a really affordable alternative for powering this light on location. A couple of other nice things that are great to see is it has a locking AC cable that locks into the fixture to prevent you accidentally yanking that out. And it also has a Bowens mount, which means industry standard you can use any softbox or any lens you like on this light. There is so much more to say about this 300X Mark II, but I just want to tell you a little bit about the 60X before we move any further. Following the same theme, the 60X is absolutely tiny. We're talking about something roughly the size of a can of Coke, and this thing can really pack a punch. And even though it is so small, it still has a built-in battery that can run at full power for 45 minutes and at 30% power for 2.5 hours. And even with the built-in battery inside, it still weighs in at 535 grams. It also has a USB-C port on the body that is capable of power delivery of 45 watts, meaning that you can take pretty much any power bank or filmmaking battery with a USB-C output and power this fixture. And it is also compatible with that Suré battery grip, as the battery grip has a D-tap output and a USB-C output, meaning it can power either of these lights. One of my absolute favourite things about this 60x light is the mini Fresnel lens that comes included inside of the box. In so many scenarios, I just find myself grabbing the 60x with its mini Fresnel lens over like a mini tube or one of those pocket LED lights, as it just packs so much more of a punch and it can do so much more. And if you did want to maybe achieve the same look as a mini tube or a pocket LED, it has a silicone dome that goes over the top of the mini Fresnel, and it gives you the exact same quality of light. And another thing this light can do over lights, like we just mentioned, is it can take modifiers. The 60x is actually smaller than the size of a Bowens mount, so that was not going to work here. So Suré have built in their own mount system for this light. But don't worry if you're worried about all your old modifiers in Bowens mount, as there's an adapter to get those to work as well. Suré actually have some great dedicated modifiers built for this light. My favourite one of all is the mini softbox. It's kind of like a small octabox with a grid, and it's one of those fast folding ones that just pops in and out in a couple seconds, saving you so much time. And there is even a mini projector lens built for a light this small, which I think is super cool. They also sell their own mini super lightweight travel stand that kind of folds away really small and have a really clever little tiny tilt head, allowing you to pair that with the stand to get a really travel friendly package. So I've been using these lights for the past couple months on my real world paying projects, and here is what I have found. Suré do list all the classic colour reading specs on the box, so 96 plus CRI, 97 plus TLCI, and all the usual claims we see. But myself, I've become so numb to seeing these numbers on every single light for sale. I actually like to just take a light and use it to see what the light quality is actually like. So first up, I have had zero issue with colour shifts or any weird tints in any of my footage when using these lights. So for me, with how cheap and affordable they are, they punch way above their weight instantly for that alone. Most of the time, like this talking head right here, I've been using the two lights together as like a combo, as I think they complement each other really well. Obviously, I've been chucking softboxes and lanterns on the 300X2 to work as a key light or a fill light, and then I've been using the 60X as a kind of backlight or background light just to fill in and make things pop. That said, I do think the 60X is powerful enough to also be a key light, as I've also done that and it has worked totally fine. I've even taken my Sony Brano and shot some 240 frames per second to see if I can see any flickers on these lights. Short answer, no, and that is normally where cheaper LEDs fail, so that is a really good sign. Both of these lights cover a colour temperature range of 2700 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin temperature, and that for me is basically more than I ever need in my colour temperature range. They also have a bunch of built-in lighting effects, from lightning to fire and all the other ones we have come to expect. Personally, I don't use these effects too much, but it is good to see them whenever they are needed. Operating the lights themselves on the back of the fixtures is relatively easy. The screens are really small and do not look great, but with a bicolour light, there's really not that many settings to change. You change your intensity and your colour temperature and you are just about done. So for what is needed, and to think they've probably saved a decent amount of cost using these smaller screens, I think it is quite a smart exchange. Now let's talk about the Bluetooth app from Suré. It is actually surprisingly good. It is not going to win any awards for design. It's really basic and there is not a lot going on, but it nails one incredibly important factor very, very good: connectivity. I don't know what Suré is doing behind the scenes here, but this app connects so fast. And not only does it connect really fast and find the lights really fast, what I found amazing is when I've packed away, moved to a different location and set the lights back up, it connects again incredibly fast. If all you want from your Bluetooth app is it connects reliably, fast and controls basic settings, then this definitely ticks all three. So both of the lights do have built-in fans with some basic controls. I've not gone in and tampered with them, I've just left them in default, and I've run the lights for probably more than 2 hours in some occasions with no issues of any fan noise in any audio. Without a doubt, the 300X2 and 6X are going inside my lighting kit from here on out. They are super small, compact, powerful, reliable. They bring so many new options when rigging in small, awkward spaces. So for that alone, it's a no-brainer for adding to my kit. And in this section of the video, I normally dive into the cons, but in all honesty, there's not really that much to talk about. The only real complaint you could see people having about these lights at this price point would maybe be that they would want RGB. But personally for me, I'm totally fine without that. If that was going to raise the weight, the size, the costs, the fan noise, then I would rather not. I think it would be great to see an RGB version of this at some time in the future, but I think this version right here in bicolor definitely needs to exist. Because what makes a light like these two here so great is the balance of price, size and weight. And that's why it is so easy to recommend them to so many different creators. If you are a content creator or an influencer, then yeah, these would be great lights for your talking head setup or studio setup. If you are a solo video creator out there creating content days, working with businesses, then yes, lights like these are going to be amazing for fitting inside your car and smaller bags and just less heavy lights to carry around. And yes, even if you are a DP working on crude sets, to have lights like these available just sitting there for when you need to rig up a light into that awkward spot, you're running out of time, you need something small, light, quick and fast, these lights are really the answer. Every now and then we see advancements in manufacturing and developments in tech that brings a product at a smaller size and a better value, and this is just one of those situations. The only thing left to do right now is figure out how to get the absolute best results from your lighting kit, and to do that, watch this video right here.